Hi my friends, here's one more video with many short videos I combine for house, school cleanup, and it's also all of those videos are also useful for business, right? If they're related to anything listed here. Okay my friends, so thank you so much, and I'm really looking forward to volunteers to sign up at our Peace app. Talk to you soon. We will have a very special organization launching day. Let's get our houses all clean, our business all clean, all organized, really neat, everything working, nothing broken, right? Everything properly raked or clean and gardens planted all over. Talk to you soon. Here are the videos. Okay, so here we are going to talk about printouts from school and notebooks that were already made. So parents and teachers gonna talk to the kids. So what they're gonna say? Say nicely, with time, explain. Look, even that you got a good grade, keep. Let's say they have to keep. I think 2 from each, right? The best ones, of course, right? For the organization family register, 4, 2 or 4, let me think. I think the 4 best ones. So for each subject area, each student from first until high school, grade, 12th grade, right? They're gonna keep their best, okay? So they're gonna get the ones that have the most score to be scanned for the organization launching day. So whichever I have here, just have some math to show you, okay? So keep the best ones. And if you already have printouts at your school, you know, that's the way you are doing, use the ones who are already printed, of course. Tests, for example, or keep them for tests for those 2 weeks or 4 weeks until the organization launching day. All right, keep the best ones, the most grade, of course, if they were easy. So here's some math symbols. You see that you're gonna learn everything in English. All right, so keep the best ones according to your country curriculum. Of course, do not keep the ones related to pizza, to sugar, to ice cream, to gums, and just make the best selection as possible. In the same way for chemistry, for science, for physics, all right? Just keep the best ones. Okay, they're gonna be scanned. Parents gonna save a copy at their email. So when comes the family registration day, they're gonna submit the best ones let's focus on 4 tests or assignments, class assignments for each subject area for each student. Okay? All right. So we're doing great. Make sure you have their transcript already done. Okay, so how is that? You have a transcript, already go to your school, whichever is. So you're gonna have 2 types of transcript, right? Okay, so how is that? So you're gonna put like that. Do not open official transcript. She didn't put the official, but official transcript. Do not open. How they come? In a closed envelope. Do not put stamps. No stickers. No. Forbidden. Put the proper white glue, and stamp. For every stamp you have. If you have 2 types of stamp, one side, one other side, right there, the middle of each. If you don't have stamp, make one right away. Okay? A simple one. If your school don't need, you need at least one. And if you have at least one, you put the same one. If you have 2, one for the school and one for the school, let's say, and one for the principal, the secretary, I mean. So you can put one here, your initial, but needs to be a half on this flap. You see? This envelope flap. Glue with white glue. No stickers, no tape. Okay, so this is the official you're gonna give to a new school. The new school, where's the new school for all our kids and teens? You don't know. We don't know yet. We have to wait. We're gonna keep that at home in a very safe place in a plastic bag in case the day you have to go, you already have a plastic bag. Save the best bag you have, okay? So if you have a transparent bag, use a transparent bag. If you don't have, use the best, a half transparent, like this one. Have some things, okay? If you really don't have one like that, it's okay. Keep in another bag, one that's all painted. That's fine. Keep on your best bag. So you're ready to go to the city office after the organization launching day and give that. The official gonna be given at the city office for everyone. Okay? All right. The new school for some kids and teens gonna be their old one, old school. But for some other children and teens gonna be another location. All right? But all paperwork, we are not doing at schools anymore. Remember, we're going to do the city office. People are gonna give their children birth certificate, documentation, everything that's asked, including the transcript. All right. So this one's gonna be the official transcript. Every secretary needs to write that. Official, let me fix here, okay? All right, so it's right there. Official transcript. Sorry, not so well because the lady forgot. Do not open. Okay, but for your own, for the parents to check, you are allowed to have a copy per year. I don't know what it is right now. A copy. So for each grade, so an 8th grader, for example, gonna have each grade by grade, one after another, with their grade, final grade at the end. Just year by year, not many details, nothing like that's not needed, okay? Because some schools put too many things. We just need the yearly paperwork. All right, of course, until the last school year completed, right? Okay, so, and here we are going to do the new year. They're just gonna give the last report they have to the city office, okay? So the parents gonna keep a copy. That's just a few pages. In countries that have too many details, just ask them for the basic. Make sure you're clear to the secretary. Say, look, I just need the yearly, one subject area after another with their proper grades up front. Yearly grade. Not too many details and this and that, no. If they have tests, write simple. If the person is from a district, a school district, please already make it simple and objective. All right? Okay. So for both hemispheres, we are going to be in the middle of a school year, right? We're in April. Some are almost ending their school year and some just started. The South Hemisphere just started. Okay, so how are we going to do? So we're going to have that. All right. The other thing is that you're going to, after the organization launching day, the secretaries go ahead for the whole school. Teachers have to submit to the secretaries. Secretaries have to have them ready, to give one piece of paper with all the kids' last grades. One piece of paper. All right? Okay. So with their last grades on that for each subject area, according to their age group, of course. All right? And the date. Okay? So put the date there. Let's say in April, every secretary have that done. You know, from the notice day, teachers already submit their last grades, and secretary already have all these papers, because some schools have 1,000 kids. It's a lot of work. And the stamp on the bottom. Okay, so teachers submit their last grade, whichever it is that notice day. Because after this, they're going to start with these new books, new games, all right? We want to have records of how they were doing before you start to implement these games and the book like that, the brochure book, okay? All right, secretary sign. And I think one more person can be the coordinator or the principal, okay? Really sign. We are not doing any digital signature. We are not doing that. You know, they can make it simple and only initial. Yes, they can. You know, they can do that. But because, as I said, some schools have 500,000 kids, but they need both stamps. If the school has both stamps. Like schools in the middle of nowhere need at least one stamp. Because if the school is official, they need a stamp. If they have only one stamp, they have to write the person's name, the principal's name or the secretary's name, and sign after. We need some proof of their writing. Okay? All right. The paper for each one needs to be official on the top. Even for schools far away in the middle of nowhere, they need official title there for each student. Okay? All right. So it will be only one piece of paper with their grades, all subject there, grades on the front. If they fit, they can do a half page for each student. Yes, they can do that. So, name of the school, right? Name of the school. Subject areas with their last grade before they start the new work with games. And then they sign. They sign and they stamp and initial and that. All right, we're doing great. So, for this piece of paper, you're going to give the original to each parent on a special day so they don't get, you know, you can give to the kids if they walk home, if they get the bus. Make sure you explain over and over and over before you give, explain for a few days or, you know, very well in 1 or 2 days. Say, look, this is official. Because some schools, very impossible. Some parents even live far away from schools. They cannot even walk to the schools. So you're going to give to the kids, say, look, this is very, very important. Is to bring to the city office, explain what the city office is, you know, or have the oldest child of that same family to bring books of all their siblings, okay? All right, so I think we're doing great. This is official paper original, all right? The school gonna keep a copy, you know, take pictures or everything because don't need the printed copy. That's not needed. Keep a digital copy. Take pictures of a half page, right, for each student. Keep on their records and give the original really signed to the parents. And the parents that can come home, you can tell them that you have the option to come and get your paper, send a message, right? Because each country is different. Some places, all parents have cell phones, send them a message. They're already on the lists. They can get automatic messages, like in Florida. And some places in some countries, parents don't have even a cell phone. Okay, so just do the best you can according to your reality. Send this paper home. If it's a raining day, wait and give next day. Do not give papers because children are supposed to don't bring backpacks anymore from the notice day. They bring them home, next day they don't bring anymore. They keep their laptops at the school, next day no one gonna have backpacks anymore. All right? Okay, we're doing great, my friends. So now we got all this done. You send this document home and now you're gonna start a new day. Older children, let's say fourth grade and over, in some places even second grade and over, they can help to make those games, right? You can keep flashcards that they made before, those things you can keep, but no assignments like that. No assignments like that. Keep in your classes until the last day before the two cleanup weeks, right? So on the day you're sending this document home, you're gonna also send the 4 ones you save, or send right away, separate them before you start your new work. Make sure every kid gonna have their last 4 tests or the last 4 assignments, the best one. You're gonna see, each teacher gonna see the best for each kid. You're gonna focus on the grade they got, or you're gonna focus on the subject, which one is the best for each class, if done in paper, if done in printouts. Okay, so what will be the best, because this is a historical thing for that few decades, for that student, right? Because we need proof of it. Every family gonna need proof of the school, the grade, and that they were studying, or if they were indigenous or nomads not studying anything. So all this need to have consideration. All right, so each teacher gonna choose the best as possible, okay, and submit. All right, if you have a few more days before this new work is introduced, this work with sentences, with vocabs and this and that, you send the 4 ones you already have, and then if you get a new one, because we don't know when the organization launching day gonna be, you're gonna ask the child, look, you got 100 on this one. Shall we replace? You have anything to replace? Or you can say, oh, you got 88 on that one. So what you're gonna do? So you're gonna be talking to your students, and they're gonna decide at home. For every good grade they got, they send it home. If it was a bad grade, just recycle. All right? Okay, agreement done. We're doing great. Hi, my friends. Good morning. How are you doing? Okay, so here we are going to have some updates, okay, for teachers from 1st to 12th grades. 12th grade. Okay, so here's some ideas. I'm going first to say about the basic classes, right, for every grade. Science, the country language in United States is English language, arts, math, history, okay? All right. So let's say for science. So the teacher is gonna get together, have 1 hour meeting, up to 1 hour meeting. All the science teachers gonna get together. They're gonna get their books they already have and use the best as possible. So if the whole school got the same collection, they're gonna choose the best collection. If they have different books, so each teacher gonna decide which book they're gonna choose and use with their students until the new books arrive, the approved books printed and arrived by the organization, the new books, organization books. All right, this is just an example, okay? We are not approving these books because we have here, so let's talk about that. Okay, so they have the book, right, for each of those things. Already decided. Science, English, country language, math, and social studies, let's say. All right, okay. So for science, they're going to keep their book, right? Okay, they're going to keep their book. But if they are in another country that do not speak English, they're gonna already start learning their basic vocabs and sentences. How is that? Because we have to start, teaching the kids of all ages as soon as possible outside learning games. With things, depending the country, depends on how the kids are, their age as well, the best as possible, with vocabs and soon after sentences. And even more text, basic, simple paragraphs, and you keep going. Okay, they're gonna be copying classroom, playing games outside, copying and playing games. While on this transition time, until we have everything organized, some schools already have about an hour, right? 45 minutes to an hour classes, right? And 5 minutes transition. So you're already going to do that. Half an hour inside, half an hour outside. You're going to see, the best as possible. Some countries rain every day. So you're going to see, talk to the teachers on the decision, already make a decision at your school, a new reports book, okay? That gonna from each of these 10 departments, you're already gonna make little notes about those meetings. So every subject area, all the teachers gonna get together, have 1 hour meeting, and already make a report saying which book each teacher gonna use, or which printed material going to be used over and over. Okay, all right. So, for science, you're going to start asking your students to translate. Going to make a little plan. That's another second meeting for that same group of teachers. Gonna make a little plan. Oh, how are we gonna do it? This. Okay, all right. So how are we gonna do it? So you're gonna make a basic plan. You're gonna translate titles, lesson titles, or chapter titles, whichever you have. But you're gonna keep using your book. Keep going. Whichever lesson plan you're doing, you keep going. All right, according, using the same material. I think, so the kids don't get crazy until the organization launching day, and then we're gonna have proper explanation for every teacher of each age group, for all countries, those that are speaking English and those that are learning something else. All right, so you're gonna have learning games. You're gonna create learning games. That's another meeting, the third and the fourth teachers meeting and creating games together according to vocabs of that chapter, or what's important or not, and things like that. If they have something that's not approved, for example, excavation, we are not doing those anymore, jump that lesson, explain to the teacher, to the students, that those things are not needed. We already did enough in history. We don't need those things anymore. So you just jump that lesson and keep going to the following one. All right? Because all these things you're going to still learning. If they learn about dinosaurs, do the least as possible, talk about them 20 minutes or so, if that's part of the what they're learning, or fossils. Talk a little bit and go on. Okay, don't stay there. All right, talk a little bit and go on. All right, so you can complete, because some for the North Hemisphere, they're almost at the end of their school year, and on the South Hemisphere, they just started a new school year. So it depends on what you are. You just do the best you can. All right. So if they ask any craft or anything, always explain to the teachers. Look, we are not doing crafts with recycle items, because the right way, craft with recycle items, or beans in cups, right, in plastic disposable cups. We're not doing that. Or the science fair gonna really change a lot. We're gonna postpone for 2 or 4 weeks after, with the new rules and guidance. Everything you explain to them, because even that they already saw some videos, you keep explaining, keep going, all right, because some things they're gonna keep learning. All right, all those things, yes, they have to keep learning according to their age group. Okay, all right, keep going with the books, whichever level you are. All right, until the organization launching day, and then you're gonna have more explanation. So I'm just going to give you an example of some things. For example, this book here, yes, bacteria, plants, animals, cells, heredity, all these inside the earth, earth changing surface, earth waters, climate. And then you're just gonna, for this book, as far as I see, only the fossils and excavation, you're just gonna talk just a little bit. Yes, was done a lot, for centuries. And we are not going to do anymore because not needed and done. All right? Okay. And just if you're not sure, 100% sure about the new organization things, just keep going. All right, so what you're going to do, half an hour inside writing or every other day, and half an hour outside or every other day. I think that's really positive, really sustainable. Of course, if it's raining, you stay more inside. And if it's really fresh and great, you're going to stay more outside doing learning games. Get the vocabs and make simple sentences that match the best as possible until we get better games. Okay? If you have great games already approved at your school, put them on YouTube so other teachers can have a look. And you're also going to search to see if someone else already plays games on YouTube. Okay? Saying that everyone can use them. All right. So this is for science. For the country language, if you are in a county or a country that do not speak English, you already have to start teaching English. How? In the same way. Simple vocabs with drawings, sentences, short paragraphs and long paragraphs. Copy, 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 play outside, play outside, play outside. Okay? How are you going to do it? Half an hour outside, half an hour inside until the organization launching day. Is that good? All right, great. So for country language, already decided, already explained. Let's talk about math. Okay, so for math, what you're going to do? The same way. You're going to decide the best way. You're going to keep teaching the kids according to your country curriculum. Okay? So if you have a book, you're going to focus on book and don't give any print out anymore. From notice day, if you have a book, at least 5 books for the class. Why 5? Because some countries in the middle of nowhere, that's all they got. Sometimes it's even 2 books for everyone, or no books, just the teacher's books. Yes, that's reality of some countries. But if you have a book, you're going to keep the book and do not keep printouts. All right. So if you're in the middle of nowhere, far away, and have some printouts that can be used over and over without the answers, this is not good anymore. But if you have, or if the teacher going to handwrite something, that some of them don't even have internet, right? Yes, that's the reality of some countries, in rural areas. What you're going to do? They're going to keep using and with games. So they're going to do some work inside the class and timetables outside. Work inside the class 30 minutes, timetables outside. Because timetables, my friend, from first grade until the 14th high school grade, because you're not having 12 anymore, you're going to have 14. What we're going to do? Timetables. We start with the most simple. The 1, the 2, the 4, okay? And then the 5, and then you go 3 and 6, okay? Start with the most simple. Look online the same way to see if someone already posted good basic songs, okay? And already start implementing, those outside games. And then you're going to do timetables and also jumping games. All right. 2 plus 8, 5 plus 7, and everyone has to answer together. And 1 or 2 kids are jumping rope, and everyone else, the whole class around or in 2 lines of that, jumping rope, the long jumping rope, and 1 or 2 kids jumping. They jump a little bit, get out when they answer, everyone answers. 2 new kids come, jump, and go away. You keep rotating, okay? All right. So for math is that. If you already have sand bags, you can use them. If you have bean bag, you cannot use them. You're going to replace, put sand on them right away. Explain to the kids that we don't use food. Explain why. Ask if anyone wants that beans. Okay, so we don't throw away anything because some kids, some families don't have any food. So if you have any bean bag, put the bag, the beans, available in a transparent bag outside for the families that want can bring them home and use. All right, so for math, it's already explained, right? Games outside all the time. For simple formulas and even for fractions, start doing the most basic, all in English, all those games in English. What you can use are simple songs. For example, nursery rhymes of your country that are not negative, but some nursery rhymes, just for them to know the melody, but focus on the vocab or on the, the learning game. Okay? All right, so for math, we are done. Let's say a few words about history. So for history, let's put the blank paper. And for color paper, no more printouts as well. Okay? And for everything you are shredding at your school, if you have a shredder, keep in a bag, a transparent bag, or in a box, and put far away from the edible gardens, under, really low, make holes under, but not close to fruit trees, so they don't get all this ink, okay? All right, let's say a few words about history. In math, you do fraction in English, everything in English, start with the basic, okay? All right, so in math, start with the basics, okay? History, no books at all. No books at all. Because history, not from ancient civilizations, nothing. So no books at all. What you're gonna do? Do some simple outside learning games. Very simple. You're gonna focus on English for history, no books, because we don't want to learn kids what we're not going to learn, or teach them in a grade that we don't want. We're going to talk to them, of course, send notes to the parents that from that Monday, the following Monday on, the history going to be done in games, learning English with the basics. What the basics going to be? The basics in history going to be some very simple sentences like the title of the chapter and the title of lessons plan. Just create the best as possible. Let's say create 5 or 10 very good games and focus on that. Okay? All right. Focus on that. All right. So you have the history sentence decided on this first meeting, because no one gonna have history social studies book. Okay, no one. Geography you can keep. But no history books. All right? Because depends on the country, they combine things, of these items I just said, the subject areas. Okay, so for history, you're gonna get just the very basics, 5 or 10 games, and focus on that. Jump rope, the same way. You can make 2 lines of kids of your class, in the middle, long rope, 2 kids can jump each time. Get the answer, pass. Or if your game, it's on the sentences to be said with a song, you decide that everyone knows a positive song. Okay, I think a positive nursing rhyme would be the most appropriate until we have everything, the best games, approved for everyone, options for every grade and every subject area, approved at our website. Okay, so that's what you're gonna do for history. All right, For geography, you keep your books and you're going to do the same as science. And but no social studies and no history books. All right, great, we've done that part. Now let's say a few words about chemistry and physics. Those you can keep. Do your 5 or 10 games, 4 or 8. 4 or 8 games. 4, I think 4 is plenty, right? In the same way. Or sentences that keep going over and over. 2 new kids come to jump. The sentence, a few sentences, needs to be simple so they can learn. Repeat, learn, and repeat. In the same way, a half hour inside, a half hour outside. A half of the class, because some countries, they have 45 minutes class. Until you're more organized, okay? And because, as I said, some countries have smaller classes because they are there from like 7 o'clock in the morning until noon. And 1 o'clock come already complete other group of kids that study till 5 o'clock. So we have to see these details. Every country is different, my friends. And here in the United States, we have way too many schools, right? And classrooms. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do for chemistry and physics. And for everything that's really negative, you're already gonna jump, you already know that as soon as you know. Have your meeting and decide. PE. PE, you know, you're already gonna take out the games that are not approved. So everything with a bet, you know, it's out. So baseball is out and everything else. Okay? So what you're gonna focus? Basketball, volleyball, and most of it. And you can do gymnastics, yes, ballet, you can continue. And then we're going to give details afterwards. But just until the organization launching day, keep doing the way you can. All right? Okay, so that's for PE. Everyone is to run. Okay, so at least 10 minutes running and running fast, the best as possible. Yes, they have to run, okay? From first grade to high school, run. And active games, okay? Or team games or cooperative games until end of fourth grade and things like that. Okay, so that's the basic for PE. Digital learning gonna be canceled right away. And the teacher gonna focus on English games, learn English, okay? So they're gonna be working with the country language teacher or with the most as needed. They can go right away to nutrition, wellness, for example, and start learning. And they're gonna start, the other idea is to learn while they plant. Do recognition games, get the seeds, focus on, so that teacher, if they have digital learning and computer classes and all this stuff, you know, that's not needed for now. They go right away, use their time, you know, working outside with the department director of gardening, if they're already approved or not, you know, the best as possible. Gonna focus on that. Oh yeah, I forgot. The math teacher also gonna focus on already doing simple exercises, very simple, for the garden work, right? How much soil we need. If we have this and that, measurements and things, okay? And the history, the math teacher can already do that. All right. So the theater teacher, how are we gonna do? If the story is really good, really positive, we can go outside and start practicing outside. Of course, if it's not snowing or if it's not raining, okay? And keep practicing outside. If they have bad parts, take out the bad parts, make the improvements for that play. If they have authorization or not, if it's authorization is needed or not, should take the bad part out depending on the store they have. All right. If they handwork, they're already gonna do handwork outside under trees and things like that. If it's positive, like in Waldorf schools, right, instead of staying inside, they go sit outside in picnic tables or at the floor, right? The grass. If it's watercolor, you know, they're gonna really focus on, they can sing gentle songs, or they can have a positive short story, depends the grade they are, and do outside if they already have, as soon as they can, right, the following week, already have the waterfall outside if it's quiet, you know, and they do not purchase paint from Stockmar anymore. We are going to make our own paint. So schools of all countries cannot purchase watercolor anymore. Okay? Only if the school are new and don't have them. So they're gonna buy what's available the best as possible, and then they're not going, because we're gonna use the ones that are made anyways. But they're not going to make new ones. Buy new ones. And producers are not going to make more ones. We're going to produce our own from turmeric, from indigo, things that are grown for each country. Beets and things like that, and learn how to preserve them a little bit, but so we can still do watercolor. For music, wooden flute. Yes, everyone can have wooden flute. Don't buy yet, because we're gonna say which grade we're gonna have, because wooden flute is one instrument and it's good for us to learn basic music. Don't have that all gone, right? It's very good. So we are going to have, but don't buy yet. We're going to say which type, because we need one that's very sustainable, very durable, for everyone the same. So we're gonna decide that. Okay, guitar can be used, yes, you know, but don't purchase any new one. But you can keep the schools that already have, you know, can use them. We're gonna say how. So do not purchase new guitar anywhere. For schools that already have an orchestra, yes, they can keep them. How they're gonna keep? Gonna be chamber orchestra only. All the other instruments gonna be placed out. Wait until they keep your instruments saved until the organization launching day, because it's gonna give details, because the chamber orchestra that said online, we're thinking, studying, and how we're gonna make improvements and list exactly the instruments we're gonna keep, the instruments you're not going to keep. And new countries do not need orchestra. Countries that did not have, schools that did not have, we're not going to buy new ones. They can even use the ones, for example, if a private school had a lot, and another school, new school, don't have any, we're gonna see if we're gonna share those instruments or not. Okay? So do not purchase any orchestra, instrument, okay? All right. Choir, the same way. Choir classes, fine, continue, keep going. Start implement your songs, start already singing outside. The orchestra, the same way. Already start practicing outside, inside, outside, inside. Of course, you need some shade, right? Under trees or something. Do every other day, or 30 minutes in, 30 minutes out. You see the best, what's the most sustainable for you. Okay? So for choir, the same way. Take out the bad ones. The songs that have just a few words, a few sentences that are not so good, improve them if you can. Get already written authorization from the composers, and start getting the organization songs implemented to your program. Okay? And already try to do the white flag movement the best as possible. Okay? All right. So that is done and very good. I think that's the basic. All right. So for all classes, you know, start focusing in English, teaching English with the basic vocabs and sentences. Okay? All right. So talk to you soon, my friends. Get the jump rope, you know. Get natural fiber. The cotton gets dirty really a lot, so search well which one you can get. Just get one or two for now. Keep sharing with all teachers. Until the organization launching day, we're gonna tell exactly which one you're gonna buy. Of course, if your school is too big, right, you need maybe 4 or 8 jump ropes. The long one that 2 kids can jump in the middle and 2 other kids can hold it. All right? Or for younger grades, 1 kid and 1 teacher, because the teacher gonna need to focus rhythm, right? If it's 1st and 2nd grade. And kindergarten, jump rope as well. The little kids can jump rope like in a wavy way, like a little snake like that, you know. And they can play games saying words about the garden work, you know, the best as possible. All these subject areas focus on our gardens, focus on our songs when you're out there, sing those songs, focus on learning English, all right? Okay, my friends, have a wonderful day. So you have 2 very positive meetings with subject area teachers, okay? 1 hour first about how you're gonna do, and then 1 more hour in the same week or in the following week, the best as possible. All right? Get those games going, and I'll talk to you soon. Have a wonderful day. All right, my friends, great to see you again, talk to you again, right? Okay, so here are 2 examples. This is the vinegar I have. So what you're gonna do? You're gonna buy empty bottles, you know, like in a door store, whichever you have there at your own county at this time. You know, transparent, as soon as you already have transparent, okay? And then you're gonna put, because we have different percentages of vinegar, concentration of vinegar. So for the vinegar, you need to look online, because depends how they're sold, it's how you're gonna make the mixture. With this one sold here in my county, I put a half and a half. A half vinegar, a half water, I think is working fine. But we're going to give proper videos explaining until we have the vinegar made on a proper concentration and how you're gonna do the mixture here. Okay, so we're gonna figure out what's the most sustainable. You know, to have vinegars that are really strong, you're gonna pour and put more water and less vinegar, because that's, of course, most sustainable for transporting, you know, so we don't need gallons of weak vinegar. The same as bleach. We can use bleach a little bit, only when really needed, only for spots, as we talk about. Yes, we can. But then we're gonna put more water, okay? And use just a little bit. All right. So for the bleach, in spots area, little drops is not going to be like this. It's gonna be in a little drop container, okay? But not like this. So let me show you just very quick how we're gonna do the drop. So any container with a drop like this, you know, they have just a drop, they can be used. This one I use for a little olive oil. You know, you can put a little few drops sometimes on the skin or in the hair when needed, you know, a little bit. Because sometimes we don't have all the seeds we need and all the natural things, like from avocado, from nuts, the oil we need our body. Okay, so here let's talk about vinegar. That's how I do it for fruits, for veggies, for bathroom, for kitchen counters, to disinfect everything I need. You know, I use that. A half. For me, it's working fine at this time. I think it's good. Also, according to the location I live, you know, my community is pretty clean, you know, and people pick up their dog poos and things like that, okay? And it's still raining, you know, and so they wash out the bad things. So for me, it works fine. Okay, you can even use that also inside tennis shoes when they get the rain. And if you're not sure if they have bad rain, like in cities, they have rats, right? Some communities, they have too many dogs that pee around. So if you got a lot of rain in your shoes or your child's shoes or something, you know, you're coming from the school or from a bus, so go ahead. After washing the tennis shoes or whatever shoes, you know, you can spray inside, you know, the vinegar to kill anything that's bad from them. All right, for everything else, for the socks, you can wash them really well with soap and water and wash one more time. I think that will be fine. And if you want, you know, if you think it's really bad, you know, if your area has rats, you know, to avoid that name of that, I forgot now, the name of the disease from rat's pee. So, of course, you're gonna put that socks, and of course, if it's a white tennis shoes, for example, in bleach, you can do that too. For socks, I don't think that's gonna work unless it's really concentrated. But you can soak them in bleach, make sure you kill everything. And also for this bad rain, not the bad rain, rain is always good, right? Because you're not going to have acid rain soon. Oh, thanks God. But you can use the bleach in socks and in white shoes, okay? For those two things. You know, if the area has a lot of dogs, pee, or if you live in a city or in a place that might have a lot from the, we say, storm, right? Rats, okay, from rats pee. Be careful, you have to wash. The other thing you have to do, after those rain, you really have to rub your toenails really well to make sure nothing stuck there if you got those bad water, okay, from a storm. Make sure you always clean your children, feet and everything. We have to rub our feet every single day, okay, that's very important. And people that are vegan, you know, they already don't have any smell on their shoes for years, so, you know, okay. All right, so that's about vinegar. So I'm gonna use the opportunity and talk about salt. Salt are not going to have that anti-caking, you know. I think for 2 weeks, so companies can already make the arrangements. They're gonna come thicker, you know, they're gonna come thicker, and without that agent, even that the soil get a little stuck together, but they're not going to have anti-caking anymore. Everyone gonna use sea salt or mountain salt, whichever they have at their own continent. And then, so for salt, I think for plane and airplane, it's up to, I think the same, right? Maybe 2 weeks, I guess. Planes only. For ships, it's 1 trip and they cannot come back anymore. For everything sent on ships, they arrive and they cannot go back to the other country anymore. For ships, it's decided. Okay, for salt, I think we can keep transporting them for each continent, because depends, right? At the organization launching day, we are going to tell you how long. Okay? And after that, maybe 4 weeks or so, after that, it's only at on continent, gonna be transported only by trucks or trains and not by airplanes anymore, because that's not sustainable. Okay? All right. After that, every country needs to figure out if they can do sea salt or mine salt, top mine. We are not doing undermining anymore. They can extract the salt from the top down, because mining is not a good thing. We don't even know where we are. We're not doing those anymore. We have to figure out other ways, okay? So for existing mines at the organization launching day, we're gonna give all details how we're gonna do it under tunnels, mines. For mines that are done from top to bottom, we can continue doing that way. Extracting, you know, depending on the country, if it's a mountain or if it's a plateau or how it is and located, how long. We're going to have all these details described. Okay? All right, so I think it's fine. For people doing sea salt and every other salt, they're going to share, they can share up to, I think, 4 counties, more or less, towards inside of the continent, inside their country, from the beach going inside their country. And for mountains and other mines, we're all going to have these details, how they can still share, for how long, because salt have iodine. And for places that have other forms or iodine, because everyone needs them, we already know that, we're going to say that. Because some countries like Holland do not use salt for a long time, right? But we need to figure out how to give iodine to people. Like Holland, they put in bread. We cannot do that anymore because we're not going to have bread anymore, right? So how are we going to do it? In the most sustainable way as possible. Even in drops if needed. You know, it's a poison if children gonna have, but children are gonna be polite and respectful, right? And parents can keep in a better location. So we're gonna let you know how to do it. Okay? For salt, I'm just giving you some ideas. All right? And as soon as possible, we're gonna have all the details as possible. Okay? So if parents gonna keep inside their rooms or not, little drops, where the drops gonna be placed, but of course it's not going to be in breads like they do in Holland. Okay, so we got a few things more, okay? And I talk to you soon. Thank you so much. Okay, for house items, let's say a few words on what you can keep a little longer until you have the real ones. So, for example, a plastic bottle, right? Even that the top is not so good, you're gonna keep the best one. So let's compare this cap through this cap, okay? So this cap is really strong, really durable. This plastic is much stronger than this. This is already all bad, you see here. But you need some, you know, depend on the country you are. Because some places like United States, we have water fountain everywhere. But if you don't, like some other countries, everywhere you go, there's no water fountain. You don't know, like even some parks, you know, don't have water fountain. Okay, so you need some to go out with your family. You need some water. You're not keeping the bad reusable water bottles, those with metal, those with stainless steel with plastic glued together, as we already talked about that. Okay, so what you're gonna keep? You're gonna keep the ones that are 100% recyclable. If you have those for your whole family, of course, you're going to keep those. If you don't, you keep the best one you have in your house. Okay, if you can afford, go ahead and buy something like this. This is my vinegar. It comes vinegar. I just took the tag today from it, took it out. And this I got somewhere. I don't buy water bottles. I don't even know. I think I bought, the last one I bought, I think is about almost 18 years. I remember I bought water when my boy, my teenager is almost 18 years old. He was a little boy, a baby, an infant actually. I think I don't buy water for that long. Water bottles, I mean. Water for hurricane, that's something else. Okay, all right. I mean, for hurricane in gallons, right, that we sold here in Florida, I don't know how long I bought, but like that, oh, that's really long time. Okay, so let's talk about them. So this plastic, you see here, okay, so that's really not durable, not sustainable, and this one is firmer. Look, it doesn't make that much noise, much firmer, much stronger, you see? Okay, so you're gonna keep this one. That's my vinegar there. Okay, so you wash well, of course, if it's not from soap. right? Or dish soap or clothes detergent or things like that. You're gonna keep one that is good, right? And you're not keeping sun, okay? So you use. Every time you go to a place, for example, you go to a park, but over there, there's clean water, you have to arrive in all the places with bottles empty. If you go into a conference, a school, or a library, anywhere, you have to arrive them empty, okay? Unless they don't have water. If it's a park that don't have water, you know, but if they have city water, go ahead. You have to arrive them empty, no powder, nothing inside. Then it's okay. It's according to the organization, even for conferences. Or if you're just notice, you know, like have the notice for family practice. Okay, no water, no vinegar, no alcohol, because, you know, that will be easy. When it's a meeting, people have to check their bags, everyone arriving. You're gonna check. You already bring the bottle in your hand, not in a bag, every person holding their own. If you have a marker, you already put the initials of the person right on the top, or a number for everyone, because initials will be harder. You know, a number maybe can last longer, very firm, before you dispose your markers on the assigned day for each residential community or for each school. A few we're gonna keep at schools for a little longer. All right, okay, so you're gonna arrive with them empty. Then you go to that park, that library, or wherever, and then you're gonna fill out. You're gonna arrive at your own residential community with them empty on your hands. You're even going to show to the camera if it's no one is there, of course, if it's your residential community. So you're going to shake to the camera like that in your hands. You cannot enter your own residential community with water. You drink it before you arrive. You can have water along the way because you're going to walk around, run a lot. People are not used to that yet. We don't have water fountains on the street yet. We're going to have afterwards, okay? All right. So you're going to enter everywhere, even your residential community, with some empty water bottles. No alcohol, no vinegar, no petroleum, nothing. No juice, no water with coloring, nothing. Always empty. You have to enter places with empty. You can leave the location some water. Already figure out how much water you need until you get to that location. That's fine. Until you install the proper places. But you're already gonna enter, shake them. Okay? So the other thing is for raincoats, right? So if you have your raincoat, whichever you have, if it's for the beginning, can even be a plastic bag, right? Transparent, all right? Transparent. If you don't have transparent yet, it's okay. Use a white one, okay? No black, no black. Buy one, you know, roll of toilet papers, and start using them, okay? All right, I'm just trying to show you here. Oh, here it is. Okay, so like mine, so let me show you mine. I use in a plastic like that. I tuck it in there. You know, a bag I have for long, many months, even more than a year. The same, over and over, because it's a good size. So when I tuck it in, my plastic, my coat, a raincoat, I tuck it in. It's hard to show with one hand, but I tuck it in and then I fold like that and get really small. So you're gonna have, if it's rain season in your country, you're gonna need, carry a few. How you gonna carry a few? Carry in a small bag like that, you know, look. Mine is really small, it's really good. You know, I don't have a big family yet. I didn't adopt my children yet. So, for now, it is really good, okay? I carry my things to the library and you get the things. All right, so you're gonna do the best you can. Transparent bag. If you have money, go ahead and already buy the raincoats, right? If you can afford, or trash bags that are transparent. Make a hole for the head. Start really small and open a little bit as you can. Not on the back, a little V on the front. Okay, this I paid $1. I got at Walmart and I still use it. I think about a year or so. It's really sustainable. Not the best, but I didn't find the best yet and I'm saving money. So you tuck in another transparent bag. I need a new one now. Okay, so that's how you're going to do it. One for each family member, and you can make a plan. If you're adopting the kids in the next few days and don't want to spend money or not available in your county, all right, go ahead, buy trash bags that can fit everyone until their knee or so. I think that's really sustainable, like this one. And then you cut other ones and make a hood for everyone. So plan how you're gonna cut, the size that your family gonna be, because some people are really tall, some are short, and make a good plan up to the knee more or less. I think that is sustainable, and enough. Okay? All right, so that's about plastic bags. The other thing about walking around and going around, you're gonna have the plastic bags sustainable, reusable, the best as possible. So if you already have one that is not a logo of a company, you already use them, like this one. It's not the best, no, but it's the one we have, so you use the one you have. You're gonna use the best one according to the money you have. Go ahead, if you have money, go ahead and already purchase best ones without company names, you see? So without, this one I got at Walmart, it's already ripping, so that's not good. Some can last years, I have them before. All right, the other thing you have to see is this part here. This is not the best, but you buy the one you have the best at your county until we have available the best ones. Why? Because this get like this when it's heavy and hurts the shoulder. Okay, so what we need? We need the firm ones like this one. This cotton one I just show you, it's much better because it's firm. You see, it's firm, it's a type of cotton, thick cotton, and it stays like that, open, and does not hurt the shoulders. Okay, all right, so that's important. All right, the other thing about plastic bags, let me show you, is this part here inside that's not sustainable. Because it's a little cotton, material. It's not really cotton, it's a type of plastic. But what happened with this? This is hard to dry, gets stained. If you don't have, it's okay, you purchase what you have. This one I paid $1 and I'm using for a year already, or even more, don't remember. All right, so what you're gonna do? You're gonna have the ones that are plain plastic, real plastic, like outside here, you see? You wipe it down and in 5 minutes, of wind, done, dry. But this part takes longer because it's a mixture of fabric. Takes much longer. So, but plastic that foldable, all right? So these are the most sustainable. Why? Because you fold like this. Let me show you. So you fold nice and neatly on the sides like that, okay? So you tuck them in, that's how I do it. So you tuck them in, fold them again, like that, you see, or even one more time, and you can place them inside your cotton bag, like this, you see, very small, because some plastic, some bags, reusable bags, they're thick, too thick, not foldable, so you're gonna avoid that. This one is very good. Why? Because if it's raining, you have them, you have your things safe wherever is that. If it's house, family use, day in a park or library, those places you can bring a bag, of course, because you're not bringing bags to schools, universities anymore, because they're not needed. We already talked about that. Okay, so you're gonna keep your documents there. If you're going to a conference, you can use them. Okay, the conference have more details as we're gonna put online, but you're gonna use, if you're selected, you have no money, you're gonna use what you have. It's fine. They're plastic, keep things 100% safe. If they have a flap, you know, a plastic flap will be even better. Okay, so you have, or you bring your documents in a strong plastic bag. Okay, so you have to be careful the sides and the sewing, like this one here, to see if water comes in or not. If you have documents, always have plastic bags. Your documents plastic bag, because if rains, right, if it's a rainy season, unless you have months of dry season as some countries for now. Okay, so I think that is about. So you're gonna keep this if you're going to supermarket or somewhere, like you can bring like that, or if you need, you can tuck them in. If it's raining, easily you're gonna put the other way around. You're gonna keep this bag inside this bag. And if it's only supermarket, you just bring them under your arms like that and you just go, all right? Okay, so basic is that for going out. I have one more thing to say. Let's say glasses. For glasses, it's very important to be small. We're not using sunglasses anymore from day of notice, right? Everybody already know that. We have to eat healthy, and people are gonna have their sunglasses picked up at their residential communities or drop off in a recycle bin. Done. From day of notice, no more sunglasses. All right, for those that are vision glasses, right? People can use the ones they have until they make the new ones. They're going to be small or a little larger than that. Not as the cat size or with shiny things or with things, metal things. It's going to be plain. Look, plain plastic. Okay? All right. Some plastic, they get yellow. So we're not going to use them. They get yellow in the sun. We're not going to use that. They need to be strong for acid rain, because for a while in many countries that's what's going to have, acid rain. Mostly in big cities, right? That's what we're going to have, acid rain. So that's very important, okay? So keep in mind that everyone gonna keep the ones they have until the new ones arrive at your county. You're not making new ones with bad frames. If you have an appointment, make sure to wait. Yeah, just wait. Call them and say, do you already have the new sustainable eyeglasses according to the organization new rules and guidelines? Yes or no? Okay, and then you're gonna redo your appointment, put your appointment 2 weeks later, 4 weeks. Make sure you have your appointment schedule and keep changing them until you have. Keep calling them and ask them, because that's transitional time. Okay, if you really can't see, go ahead and make the one, the most cheapest one, because soon you're gonna have only the approved glasses. All right, so the approved ones have no names, you see, plain. Okay, metal, of course, only for the inner part. All right, okay, that's important, but not outside, not with notes. Every company from the notice day cannot make eyeglasses with their logo outside anymore. If for people that gonna really can't see anything, let's say if they can prove they really lost it, okay, so they're gonna have the ones that are already available in stores, on the eyeglass stores, but not for producers. Producers from the day of notice, they cannot sell their names anymore. They send it back. The producers of the producers needs to take them out, because you're not going to have cheap names or brand names. For what? We're all piece names and nothing gonna be needed. Okay, so the other things, like there's so many types of lenses, right? So as I said, if it's already from the organization launching day, all right, you're gonna have only the right glasses. After the organization launching day, no one gonna purchase non-approved glasses. So if it's like that, really plain, you can go ahead and buy, and not like the cat size, okay? All right, so we're gonna have, we are not going to have very large. You see the very large ones? Not going to have that. We're going to have these very small ones or a little bigger. That's it, okay? Because that's the most sustainable as possible. Because most larger teeth, thicker, needs to be not needed. Okay, we are going to have a case, and everyone gonna keep at their homes. They go sleep, you know, they can put on a counter, and for those that have a case for now, they can keep for a little longer so their glasses are safe. All right, the other thing, when they go to the garden on Saturday, or they really need, or they can be without them. But they cannot keep putting in and out or on the side of the garden, Saturday morning work, okay? So according to their vision, if they can already see, you know, they can be fine because they're just going to work at the garden, you know, of course, you know, we have to try the best we can for people that cannot see for now, but everyone gonna start improving their vision, even people with diabetes, children that don't take sun, have vision problems, adults have vision problems because they don't take sun. Yes, they don't take sun. All right, so we're gonna do the best we can. And at their registration, family registration day, they're gonna already say, okay, I really need my glasses to work at the garden on Saturday mornings. I don't need the glasses. Leave them at home, okay? And not here on a side, on a bench, on a table, put in and out, in and out. We're not going to do that, all right? Okay, we're doing great.